I mean, of course, European champions, how can you not uh, want them, or how can they not be one of the favorites to be at the final or win the World Cup? Um, and I think one thing that really stands out for Spain, according to me, is obviously it has to be the defense. They've just conceded one goal. Kubarsi, I feel, is so underrated. Yeah, I mean, even yesterday against France, they were just amazing. Of course, that even Kukurea, I feel कि उसको भी इतना underrated. He goes under the radar a lot of the times, but I really like Kukurea as well. Rodri plays a very important role too, retrieving ball recoveries, getting those second balls. Um, so defense for me, I feel, and of course, how can we forget Pedro Porro getting that goal and all the work that he does. So for me, the defense is always one of the most important things for any team. As the old cliche goes, defense wins you championships, and we've seen that. I mean, against such an attacking unit of France, to keep them shut for the entire game, not many shots on target, not really testing Unai. So I think that's where the credit goes. Of course, you have to. It's not just about defense. You also have to score goals to win. So it's the entire team, yeah, the entire team coming together, believing in themselves, and having that confidence to actually go on to your story and announce, challenge people. That takes guts. That takes confidence, and you've got to admire that. Now, I was just saying, ki, you've got to give credit. I know there will be people who might criticize, and but if you can say all of these things and gaslight people and then show up on the field and actually do it, that's what really matters. That's what uh, earns you respect, I guess. So full respect to Yamal for doing the talk. It's amazing to see that, and honestly, like, these are things that go very unnoticed and underappreciated. I feel as a keeper, your job is to keep a clean sheet, you're to block out the shots, but it doesn't always have to mean you have to be a shot stopper. You have to make those amazing, good looking saves and dive and all of that. It's just about how you manage the game. You watch the situation, and you're always ready to do whatever it takes, whether it is coming out and playing a keeper role or collecting those. I remember the grounded cross that came in and he collected it with a diver on 6 yard line. So those are things as well that matter so much. It could have easily been, they might have conceded, but just keeping focus. And one thing that I actually really loved about him and have really enjoyed watching is his presence, his body language, his um, yeah, just commanding his penalty area and the entire defense, coordinating and reading the game really well. Because we know Spain love to keep the possession. It's easy to sometimes maybe switch off when you have so much of possession. You're not getting involved. You're not really being tested. But for him to keep himself switched on the entire time, even when Spain didn't start well, in the World Cup with that Cape Verde 0-0, and there were a lot of talks. But for him and the entire team to just keep going, and they've just improved in every match since the first game. I was actually talking about this with my friends about how the chant that I've been watching on social media, Argentina ka the team chant that they've been singing. It mentions about that war in their island and how they want to win this World Cup for the martyrs there. So it just gives me goosebumps, and I like just hearing that. And because as players, as athletes, we always have that emotion. It's a game of emotions, and we some things that really motivate you that go beyond just a match. I think this is one of those things. This is bigger than just a match. It's about history. It's about in a way, revenge. And and of course, we've talked about hand of God, goal of the century coming against, in between these teams. So there's obviously a lot of history and interesting aspects to it, and that's why I feel going into this game, Argentina will have that emotional edge in a way. They will feel more motivated to get this win, of course. And I think that chant really, like, it touches me in a very special way, because that shows you the team environment, that shows you the bond that these players carry, their motivation, who and why they want to win this World Cup for. So it's really, for me as a player, it's really great to see that, because I would have loved to have that kind of feeling in the dressing room, have that kind of environment. Um, and yeah, it just makes it even more special to, obviously you're praying for the country, you're in the World Cup semi-final, but then that added motivation and inspiration to do it against one of your arch rivals. I think for both England and Argentina, defense has been, has been questionable. They've both conceded goals more than what was maybe expected. Of course, going ahead, they have play both the teams have the players to kind of find the back of the net, but um, where will it be one and all? That is, and I I don't know.
Will it be
I just
Messi
feel
again?
like, of course, I mean, if you have Messi in the team, that's not even a question. There'll always be a lot of reliance and dependency on him. And he'd want to, like, for any more than anything else, he'd want to have a say in the match, of course. But yes, England have fought their way here. They also come with a lot of motivation. They've found a way to reach the semi-final when probably not a lot of people expected them to. Um, so it'll be an interesting game for sure, and I feel uh, whoever can keep their backdoor shut, defending wise, of course, midfield is what dictates any match. So whoever takes that control will always have an upper hand. But like, for me personally, I feel Argentina have what it takes to get into another final. I've been really impressed with Anthony Gordon. Last 2 3 matches, when he came on as a sub and provided those 2 assists to Harry Kane, and for the second goal as well, everyone talked about that goal from Kane, but the assist for me was as good as the goal. So for a young guy to come in and take up the responsibility and show what it takes is incredible. And of course, when you have players like Bellingham, Kane in the team, your eyes will always be stuck on them. And especially with Bellingham, he has that advantage because he comes in late and finds those spaces, finds those second balls to finish them. So, but now, like, my concern with England is also key, of course, with Argentina too. They've played extra time. How was their recovery? We know with England, right back issues are there. A red card as well in the last game. So it'll be interesting to see what starting 11 Tuchel starts with. Um, but overall, I just feel like the momentum, the again, I value the team environment a lot, especially in a tournament. I feel Argentina are just in a different headspace, in a different, like you said, temperament. They have a different temperament, and they have a bigger, vision or bigger idea of why they want to win the World Cup. And I think that is really what is fueling their journey, because it's been hard for them. Like, they've barely made it here after a lot of heart attacks. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure they would not want to go into another extra time, and would want to get the result in 90 minutes. Spain definitely have the edge, considering their performance. If you have to be very logical, yes, Spain has the edge, I feel. But I mean, I'm a fan of Messi, and I would love to see him win back to back. It's never happened in my since I've started watching football, and so it'll be nice to have that memory.